Hello, my name is Hello, my name is Jordan, your TPA News correspondent for today. Uh, I believe the press conference will start soon, but we're just waiting for the press secretary to start. I believe that someone is currently sick at the press conference room, uh, based on what we could see through chat. Um, we'll try to get information about it and hopefully update you about it. Currently, I'm just reading from chat. There's no other information that we could get a hold of as of this current moment. The only news that we have right now is that someone is sick with the chickenpox. Uh, I'll be right back. I'll be right back with you. I'll be with you, viewers, reading the press conference chat, um, giving you updates when they arrive. From the looks of it, there will be a Discord voice chat for the press conference. We'll patch you in through that in a few moments. But before we do that, I just have to note that the former Vice President Tech and former DCT Secretary and is here at the press conference, stating that. There's also, from the looks of it, former Representative Inza. Others. Um, we'll patch you into the Discord VC in 5 seconds.
Okay, so where are the cures? Can I get one? Please. I haven't treated for chickenpox. Thank you. All right. Is everyone healthy now? I think everyone's healthy now. Well, if everyone is healthy and TPA is ready for the stream, which I'm not sure if they are, I'm going to message them right now. Did Thornton leave? Is Thornton here? Okay, TPA is ready. Great. So, if the president is also ready, we can start the press conference. Finally, after all these months of me just lurking as the press secretary, we have another press conference. Yep. So, someone's got box. Okay, I'm going to let this person in. If someone's got box, please go away. Please get treated and go away. Right, so we're going to do this like we originally used to do with 1950 when I served him as press secretary. That means I'm going to be mostly answering the questions. And at the beginning of this press conference, the president, Pepe, is going to have a little sort of a brief for you all. And if we have everyone sitting, I heard chickenpox again. Oh no, it was just the parrot. Okay, thanks. It's just a parrot. Then we can start. So, Madam President, if you want to, you have the floor.
I'm not gonna let I'm not gonna let the press secretary take my job, so I'm gonna be reading chat for you all. So from the president, Pepecuu, thank you, Mr. Press Secretary. I did not prepare a set speech, but I'll just write and see how it goes. Apologies, it might take a while. I'll just reread what the president said because I believe my volume was too low, but uh, never mind. I'll just say future messages at this volume. Meanwhile, let's oh, hold on, sorry. Okay, hello from the president, Pepecuu. Hello, everyone. Thank you for
So
being
Pepe is
here
saying,
today
"Hello, everyone. Thank you."
on this, and hope it's a wonderful day for you all. Actually, I'm gonna let. Sorry, I changed my mind mid press conference. I'm gonna let Yorndon this talk for Pepecuu while we talk about the news that they may talk about today. And starting with Pepecau's appointments.
I would like to thank you all for the support during my campaign, and I would like to once again shout out to the other presidential candidates for their great work.
So again, during this week, well, first week of her appointment, being appointed as president, she appointed her cabinet picks, and now we're just waiting for Congress to approve such approve the nominations. I'll give you the read while we wait for another message. I'll read around.
I hope to be able to hold these weekly or bi-weekly depending on what has happened in the executive over that time.
Again, I'll read the cabinet picks by the president to you out loud while we wait for another message. She has picked Kaiser for the former president Kaiser as Attorney General. Do note, yes, Sorry. President picked Kaiserin, nominated Kaiserin for Attorney General, Mesami for Education, Juniper Fig for Health, Rory for DHS, Winterwolf for Interior, DPA, RSP for DPA, and Secretary of State.
Over the last 3 days, it's been quite a busy transition to my new role. Vice President Enza and our whole cabinet was super, super busy as well.
Additionally, she also appointed Ethereum as Chief of Staff and Human in L4 as her executive advisors. During this week, the Oak Ridge Council elections also started. Uh, I'm not able to pull up a list of candidates right now for the Oak Ridge Council, but I'll get
We have
to that.
finally settled into our roles and have started working on our policy goals for this term.
I meant, let's see how it goes. Who knows? The president might talk about it. Meanwhile, speaking of news, also have to talk about.
I have been in touch with the FRB for discussions over SOWF. Yes, finally it's going to happen. Enza has been supervising and guiding some of our department secretaries and been doing a great job as well.
Where were I? Okay, so during this week also, Representative Imza resigned from his seat from resigned from his position as a member of the House of Representatives, and also the Deputy Speaker of the House. Currently, there is no special elections for his vacancy.
And I have also started working with the Congress, my former coworkers, on certain executive duties like appropriations.
Um, However, the there's now special elections for the Senate after.
Just a tangent, I would like to congratulate Sophia on her promotion to President of the Senate and Gribble to Deputy President of the Senate.
As I said, however, there is currently ongoing the Senate elections after Pepecuu vacated her seat as a member of Senate and also as the president of the Senate.
And I would like to thank Emza for his service as Deputy Speaker. He will be missed dearly. A daily congratulations for Tech being a farmer for the famous onesie brand. Okay, for our goals, we are looking to publish our appropriations to Congress soon and start enacting policy changes as outlined in our campaign document. Additionally, phase 2 of SOWF should be starting soon, so we will be adding updates as we go along. Once again, thank you all for being here today. Please ask any questions or doubts you may have. Thanks. Thank you, Madam President, for your introduction, which I've not heard in a very long time. And now for all of y'all's questions. So, once again, uh, each and every news agency always has preference. So, starting with Thornton, who's asked uh, whether the people know the reason why phase 2 only started today. Um, I think the situation is understandable considering the transition we've been through, a new government, a new cabinet, a new president. I think that's an understandable consideration when discussing why there's been some delay when it comes to the SOWF. Sophia from MSNBS is asking, what are some of our first priorities for this term? So speaking for the administration, and I'm sorry for my voice, I'm sick, so it's kind of hard to actually speak. But the priorities that we have is, as the president mentioned, publishing appropriations for November, to start policy reviews and changes, like with every cabinet transition, restart the SOWF disbursement program, and advise congressional legislation based on feasibility and effectiveness. We've been previously asked um, about about the Accounting Reform Act, to which we have given a statement to Nacho. I'm trying to make sense of all the amount of messages right now, so give me a moment. And has asked what are our plans for construction projects. Well, first of all, most of the plans of the administration will be in line with the manifesto that the Pepe Anza campaign has run. Any specifics will have to be answered by the Department of Construction and Transport. Okay, but Madam President wants to speak, to add more details to that. I'm sorry, it's really hard to speak for me. So for the TPA broadcast, the president has said that she thanks Anne for the question and thinks it's a good question. Now I quote, I'd like to also acknowledge that you've done some great work during your tenure as the Secretary of Department of Construction and Transport. We will be looking to complete the project that have been started from earlier in the Kai/June term or earlier, especially with fairgrounds still being rather empty. And the military base for the army that we haven't raised yet. So those projects are hopefully detailed and actioned by the end of my term. We'll be supervising Cato as our DCT secretary nominee on these projects. Thank you. Hello again. So moving on. Tortons asked about the army. Can you tell us about the army? Can you tell us more about what is it for? The army has been previously established in the 1950 administration. Any plans the administration in general has will be announced as they go. And this following up, how do you plan to achieve this with no active contractors? No think I will be leaving if Cato is successful in their nomination. Uh, the administration has previously stated, as the sorry, as the administration has previously stated, we trust that the department will be able to supervise their own recruitment programs for new constructors. If that's not a possibility and it isn't successful, we will reorganize the effort. More questions. Sophia, what's your thoughts on the recent town rights bill and why did Pepecuu an extensive town rights bill in the last days as as senator? It got ignored before because Pepe was speaking and I didn't see it as a result. Okay, Madam President, you have the floor. Thank you, Sophia, for your question. On the town rights bill, I was in support of it in some aspects, such as the qualification of town rights into law. However, some aspects of the bill were superseding the federal laws when compared against potential town ones, with more severe instances being blanket restriction of government departments to operate within towns. These cause significant concerns in possible situations where a town might require a government agency for assistance, but was codified might have blocked it entirely, also because it was in the Constitution. Additionally, a preliminary bill to codify town rights had reduced the possible edge cases from causing significant legal issues. Therefore, I was in favor of that bill, which failed in the House, I believe. Therefore, at that time, I was for laying the Town Rights Amendment Act for another bill. However, that bill never came to fruition. So I would advise that Congress passes another bill to codify town rights, as an EO is simply too impermanent for a solution. Thank you. Thank you, Madam President. I will first answer Anne because he's been spamming it for a while right now. So, Anne from Politico, why was a former DCT secretary who left the department inactive and in poor condition re-nominated as secretary over other individuals who have worked hard to rebuild the DCT over the past year, particularly noting that Cato was not in the DCT? The reason the administration, and by extension the president, appoints those secretaries that they do appoint is because of mostly policy basis. We found that Keita was simply a better pick for our policy priorities. So Sophia asked the question. I'm trying to find it right now. Hold on. Okay, what will your approach to fiscal policy be? Will you try and aim for increased fees in some areas, decreased fees? Will you Will you try and convince Congress to raise lower taxes? Will budgets go up and down? Overall, rough estimates. So for this, I will just note that the Pepecuu slash ENSA presidential policies October 2025 document, which you can find at the presidential election Discord, has a specific structural reform section where the administration has pledged to review departmental wages to ensure that government employees are fairly compensated for their work. As such, I think you can expect the way we will use our budget in the future to be announced quite soon. Okay, I'm scrolling back down. Are there any more questions? Calls from CPC News. What's your plan on education, and what about private universities overall? So, when it comes to the policy we have set out in the policy document I just mentioned, there is I will quote from it actually. We will integrate the role of private universities in Redmont's education system. So, in that we can see that that's a definite yes for CPC News. Any more questions? And from Politico, if you made your decision to appoint Cato on policy basis, did you agree with his prior policies of being inactive and not effectively leading the department? I can say with certainty that if Cato will be found to not be active and will not fulfill the policies we have found unite us in this endeavor, they will not remain a secretary. IMSA, I'm not sure if that's real news agency, but if it is, I can only repeat my answer to end. Uh, and we're trying to move into the future, and as such, historical performances may be used in evaluations. However, we just thought that in this situation, we could oversee the policy implementation in a way which will prevent inactivity within the Department of Construction and Transport. Okay, Pepe wants to take the IMSA question, so go ahead. Quoting the president, hi IMSA, thank you for the question. Also to respond to Dino at the same time, I suppose. Barja was not nominated because of activity concerns, as he has communicated such issues with me. And I believe that our DOC secretary candidate has sufficient experience and expertise to bring the OC forward from its state of inactivity to being more strengthened on audits and other projects like SOWF. For Dino, the reason why Barr's historical performance was considered is because we used it alongside other metrics to evaluate possible candidates, and of course, he has a wealth of experience from being former DOC secretary. But other current factors such as activity also matter in the present. Thanks. I've been eyeing the question from Sophia regarding legal exams and how will your policies change DOJ manpower issues. Well, um, the idea here, hold on. So regarding the law exams, the administration is hoping to make an exam audit schedule to better have exams audited routinely, which the DOE is working on right now. But also in general, we are planning to introduce a structured mentorship system with pairing newer litigators with experienced attorneys for casework, so DOJ can develop a larger pool of capable litigators, improving the department's efficiency and ensure stronger representation of Commonwealth within their courts. More questions. I'm searching the chat for more questions. And I believe I've answered that question before, so I will ignore it right now. I think I've given a sufficient reasoning as to why we have appointed someone who better amplifies our policy and agrees with it more than than other interviewed candidates for the position of the Secretary of the Department of Construction and Transport. If there are no more questions, oh, Imza. We will be announcing the ambassador. Imza asked who are we nominating for ambassador. We will announce the ambassador once we have made the decision and once we are ready to make it public. What are you asking, Kos? Okay, well, in that case, if we have no more questions, I will end the conference. What are your thoughts on potential work of certain areas like the tutorial or the highways, which are currently just cosmetic? Hi, Technofield from Technofield. Uh, so regarding the rework of certain areas like the tutorial or highways, I believe we can simply once again point out to our Department of Construction and Transport. However, we are adding an entire interactive tutorial, so we are hoping to revamp it, as well as uh, as well as. I'm sorry, I'm trying to not cough right now. As well as I'm going to point again to our policy document. I think a lot of these questions, yeah, coughs are pain, especially right now. I've brought this illness to Prague from Bristol, so it's a foreign illness. But yeah, I'm going to point out again to our policy document because I think a lot of these questions can be answered just by looking at our policy document, which is not does not mean that those are bad questions. I'm just saying that I don't think I'm going to add more value, considering we've just been appointed to do the job, we've just been elected, and there is not much we've been able to do in this short time. Instead of just planning out things we've pledged to do. So when it comes to improving the uh, infection, like infecting situation, Sophie has asked what will the administration do on potentially expanding town clinics because currently we can get infected for doing slash attend on them because of their size. Well, we want to do an entire epidemiologist overhaul. We will pursue an overhaul of the role, which is currently underutilized despite its potential to greatly enhance our pre-and immersion. We will establish a center for disease research where epidemiologists can investigate outbreaks, study diseases, and contribute to the development of new cures and vaccines. Why is the executive touching down clinics? I don't understand the question there. Are there any more questions? Oh, okay. Sorry, Imza. If there are no more questions, Cole's had one more. I asked him like a few seconds ago. They said they don't have one. Coles, if you have a question, I'm giving you 1 more minute to ask it. Okay, that was before. All right. Well, in this case, uh, I think I can end the conference. Does Madam President want to say something as a summary? Before the president types out a summary of sorts, I will answer Imza. Imza, unfortunately, Evil Larry has been kidnapped and is in my basement, so they can't do much right now. Oh, he is being turned to the proper authorities. To quote the president, thank you all for coming. It's been great having you all here. I would like to stress that my DMs are open. If you have a question, just message me or ping me. I will probably find it and respond to it. So, for me as the press secretary, thank you for coming here, for listening to my terrible, terrible voice, uh, considering my illness. And thank you for the questions. And if you have questions, reach out to me or the president at any time. Thank you all. And see you soon, I suppose.
Well, that marks the end of the press conference for today. For more news, please watch out the news channel. Normally I'd refer you to our website, news.tpa.demcraft.site, but unfortunately it is still broken. We might do a press conference summary depending on the availability of our journalist. Also, TPA News is hiring. For more information, please go to trtn.link/join to see the current vacancies for TPA News. Also, if you want to donate to our cause, keep our lights open, and keep our journalists and other staff paid, visit news.tpa.demcraft.site/information/donate. Yes, that still works, to learn more about how to donate to our cause. That is it for us at TPA today. I would like to thank our camera operator for today, who's currently roaming the halls. Eat me. And this has been me, Torton, for today. See you next week or next week. That case. This has been TPA News. See you next time. Goodbye.